B'siyata Dishmaya, when Hashem's hey is Boach Misale. The name Hashem will go up Misale. It says Chayav Odom V'chol Dov Odor Chayav Odom Yiros Es Atzmo Kiliyotze Mitzrayim. Every generation, you're obligated to see yourself going out of Egypt. So the question is, how are you able to feel you went out of Egypt? I'm not in Egypt. I'm here. How are you able to see Koach Hatziu to go out of Egypt? Chayav Kolodom Yiros Atzmoi Kiliyotze Mitzrayim. You went out of Egypt. What is the Koach Hatziu? You have to picture in your mind, you go out of Egypt. The Pasuk says in Balak, Kein Motzion Mitzrayim. Says the Orach Chaim HaKodosh that, and also says, why it says Kein Motzion? Doesn't say Kein Hoitzion. So he says every year in a year we go out of Egypt. Every year. So, and also the Mikelim says that every year we go to Egypt every year. So the question is, what is the avodah? The avodah is to look the same thing we do a dimyon, the same thing that we had in Egypt, all the miracles that happened in Egypt, the 10 plagues and everything that happened in Egypt. The same thing here, also here, the same thing. Oh no, you have to picture what happened in Egypt. All the miracles happen in Egypt, and this himself, you work on that. If you look, so there's a lot of chazals what to do. So I decided to really to work on the Ramban. I took the Ramban, we start to work the Ramban. And the Ramban will be a mafteach, a key, to able to open up all the Indian of Pesach. The Ramban says, Min anisim agluim, the Ramban tells us, for the big miracles that happened in Egypt, we're able to know the miracles that is everyone by his own personal miracles. It means you have nisim, that you have big ones that happened in Egypt, the 10 plagues, that happened with the sea, where it got split. We saw clearly Midah Keneged Midah. Hashem exactly handles the world exactly. How everyone did punishment, how bad they did, they get punishment. We saw clearly V'adatem Keni Hashem. We saw Hashem is running the world clearly, because the Egyptian says, "Who is God? Who is God?" And here we see a good. We see where's God. Comes the Ramban tells us, if you pay attention and the miracles that happen in Egypt. And you see, wow, you see the miracle that happened with Moshe Rabbeinu and the snare, and what happened in the story happened with them Jewish people, and then with it was everybody full by Buba, and when there's one baby from one stomach was 6 kids, some would say it was 60 kids even in one stomach. It's one view. 60 children in one stomach, like was something miracles like above nature. All miracles, you can look up miracles after miracles. So, if you misborn and you pay attention to the miracles that happen then, they're able to also in your own world to see the miracles of Hashem in your own world. Able to see. You don't see in your own world. And this he says, for the miracles that Hashem did, the big ones, so that we're able to admit on yourself that you have also yourself miracles every day, and miracles every miracle. Like Ramban, you admit. Minanisi odom moide, you admit. Manisi manistorim she'em yesod Torah. When you admit that everyone has miracles that are hitting, you don't even see them. People don't see them, but every day you have miracles that are hitting, and in a moment you see the big miracles, you admit everyone has miracles that is hitting. So let's look now, Pesach. Comes Pesach. So you can make your own Agodah of Pesach. You make your own miracles that you have. According to the Orach Chaim HaKodosh, that every year you have a new Yitzias Mitzrayim. So according to that Chazal, so you're able to see from now till Pesach, you're able to see your own miracles they had. The plagues and everything, your own world, you can see miracles day by day till it comes to Pesach, and you're able to say, wow, you tell your children the miracles that you saw yourself. Every day it happens, you hear, you see, you're able to live the miracles and tell the stories to the miracles your own children. A live miracle that you have. Your own life and experience, that himself is miracles that is hitting. You're able to tell over to your children to see. They say, every generation you can praise Hashem and create grace in Hashem. So this is one way how to explain it. There's one way to do that. But there's another way to explain it that you don't talk about yourself. You talk only about Mitzrayim. And they have to understand themselves about it. Because it stays hidden. You don't keep it. You don't keep it. And you keep it still nisto. You don't only keep it up. You don't keep it in public. You keep it nisto. You admit and you live it. In your own world, you live it. So, this is the question. B'chol comes the this is my question. Comes the Menucho Kedusha, and he says that the avodah of Pesach is not avodah of to say Chiddush Torah, and he says, I read the Lashon, he says here, the avodah is not, he says here, if tasoy kol alaylo b'chidushim pushe agodo psukei Torah lo yatzate dechavosi. You're not yotze dechoiva. So he says you have to work on oimek hanes, gvuras hanes, yecholes nishanes hateva kitzoinoi, avos ha'le'amoy, shomos ha'chesed la'avodo. He says basically, he says here, to work the same idea of different languages. You have to show the children, yourself and your children, the deepness of the nest. You have to show the Gvuras Hashem, to see the greatness of Hashem. You have to say Hashem could change nature. Hashem could change nature according to that He wants. To show that He loves the Jewish people. And it shows that He keeps His chesed and to who He loves for generation. 5 things He says here. All these things are, like comparison this is, you have to work on Leila Seder. It's also you have to explain, Tzadik v'ralo, Rosh Hashanah, why today we're in Golus and trouble, and Hashem will lay in the future. He says like this clearly, He says like this, Mishnah doesn't paskin halacha that way. Mishnah says not that way. Mishnah paskins halacha that you have to quicker to eat. You have to do how much more quicker to eat, and able to give it over to they're able to ask the question, Manishtana, to see the difference of the food, matzah, moro, all these things to go. But the Rabbi Zechat Tzaddik Baruch did not do that. The Rabbi pushed the food the latest how much he could do, and like the Menucha Kedusha, how much he could push more. But he says, Menucha Kedusha clearly says, Sipur Tzias Mitzrayim is mitzvah. Eating matzah is a machloikes. Some people say you can eat it even after chatzos. And Abba Koisa says tofel to the sipur. So according to Menucha Kedusha, Ika avoid of Tzias Mitzrayim, Ika avoid let us say the sipur Tzias Mitzrayim. So the main thing avoid that we have to work on Pesach, let us say there, is the story of Tzias Mitzrayim. So according to this Chazal, so you have to work on that. So it's just 2 ways that go, this way, that way. My father-in-law, the Rabbi pushed how much more to the last minute he could eat. It took him eating very quick. The food took almost no consideration in the house. It didn't took a lot of point. Because the Torah, because the Chazalim, and he explained it, and he expressed himself, and the food was a davatz dodi. He ate. We didn't eat everything in the right, but was not like he didn't took a focus on it. My father-in-law, Zechatzan Edvocha, he hold that his chiddush was like this. Leila Seder is only the beginning of the 7 days. For all 7 days, you have to work on the Siput Tzitz Mitzrayim. This is a heel. Really, all week, Hashem gave us 7 days to work on it. So really, he holds like, and he hold, Leila Seder is like Yom Tov. The main thing you do, food, the food you take time, and you eat, and you sing. The focus was not good, they do it quick and fast. The main thing is eating and like the regular Yom Tov. He said Vatovas, and they talk, and the Vatovas and everything. He holds it's like a Yom Tov. Yeah, it is Yom Tov, but you do more focus on it. All 7 days you work on it, not only 1 day. You go this way and that way. But the bottom line, how you go it, how you explain it, and how you work on it, how you explain it, comes the Menucha Kedusha. He says another problem we have. He says a big difference between years ago and today. Menucha Kedusha says years ago, people could sit down and talk and learning. Talk about the Goldstein Pesach, to the food. Today, he says, a moment they start to eat, people lose their concentration. People only think about the food. They don't think about the Goldstein Pesach. He says today is a different problem. He says years ago, the people told and Ikus and Yirat Shamayim was fear. That Yirat Shamayim is the essence. So you're able to even to push it. Food, they like it says in Mishnah. But today, he says, a moment they eat, everybody's own. Everyone is in their own world. You don't to talk to after that. When this, and look careful, you see people eating, after they're eating, you cannot talk to them already. When they start to eat, no one to talk about it. And you have to have this, you have to have that. The food takes the center. And finish. People they're able to give it over the mitzvah of giving over the Yiddishkeit. And that way this Hashem is hard, you cannot give it over. So Be'echach, he says, the Muchach is, because of that, he says, really our job is what? Is to focus on the Sipus Yes Mitzrayim. To focus on that. You have to focus on it. There's no way out, there's to focus on it. Now, let's talk about what he says, Menucha Kedusha. And this only a common sense says it. He says like this. He says, what? Yes, Chaim.
No, it's okay.
He says like this. If you want to have even 1% of control, 1% to give over of Siput Mitzrayim, you have to sit down happy and derech chayus. Then it comes out of your heart. If you're not yourself happy and you feel derech chayus, relaxed derech chayus, you cannot even give it over. You're nervous wreck, you're tired, and you're a person that cannot even give nothing. So you're not even in the parsha of giving behind the parsha. Like you lost yourself. You meshubah to the Yetzer Hara everywhere you go. So what we keep now? So this is basically how we can look at it. But I decided this year, B'ezrat Hashem, to work on the Ramban. See, you have here the Menucha Kedusha. You have, like I told you, Menucha Kedusha. You have here the Orach Chaim. All this is good. All good stuff. And not good gewaldige stuff. But he cannot do everything. So I want to work this year on the Ramban. To work on the Ramban. Take the Ramban and work on the Ramban. The Ramban, you can take the Ramban, there's enough work in the Ramban to work on the Ramban. The Ramban says, the Ramban's chidush is, and this is the focus, basically, and when I work on this. And Ramban focus is, we said yesterday, that the oises u'moifsin, the miracles that Hashem did, is the witness and emunah of Hashem and the Torah Kula. So we said yesterday, it has to be clear. If Eidus has to be, the miracles has to be clear to you and clear to everybody, to your children. If not, it won't be a witness. It won't be clear the witness. Now the Ramban divides it to 3 parts. And these 3 parts we could where it's simple. You could take, if you do the Ramban, it's only take 3 points, and basically it comes to 2. And you work on it till I said you could take 1 Chazal, you take the Ramban, it takes basically not to work on all 10 Makkahs, work on 2 Makkahs. And the 2 Makkahs you have, and you work on the 2 Makkahs, and these 2 Makkahs has all the 3 Yisoyos of the Emunah, and able to get Eidus the Emunah of Emunah and Kula Torah Kula. See which Makkah you have to work on, he says. The Makkah of Aroiv, with the animals, Aroiv, and Borod. 2 Makkahs. He says, this is looking at the Ramban, it says in the Ramban, in the community. You work on these 2 Makkahs well, you will see that there's soidos, and you're able to find the miracles Hashem did, to able to get you all the chalokim and the mavatel, all the days, bad days, and get the good days from it. Able to get from these 2 Makkahs. So you cannot work on everything. You cannot work on damna, that's vadea, not kinim. There's a lot of things you create. We limit. So Chazi himself put it to 3. The Ramban himself put it to 3 parts, and the 3 parts is really 2. The 3 Yisoidos goes on 2 Makkahs. And Barad, he has 2 Yisoidos. So one is Arab, is 1 Yisoid. And Barad, he brings 2 of them, and 2 Yisoidos for 1 Makkah. So there's really only 2 Makkahs you have to work on. So for Leila Seder, our job is to take these 2 Makkahs, work on it, put your mind into it, look the chazals of it, try to clear, it has to be so clear to you, you have to live it, you have to be excited about it, these 2 Makkahs. Make it alive to you, you have to get excited to yourself, you're able to, enough to make everybody excited about these 2 Makkahs. Only 2 Makkahs work on. This is the avoid of Leila Seder. Take 2 Makkahs, work on it, develop it, make it koichatziu with all the parts, with all everything, and make sure you're able to give it over to your children, these 2 Makkahs. And you make it alive so much, they're able to feel, and they're able to get the emunah, the excitement will take emunah and Hashem and the Torah Kula from these 2 Makkahs. You work on them. And there's enough in the Makkahs to able to get you everything that you need. This is the Chidush. That's the Chidush Goldstein of the Ramban. The Ramban got us the Yisoidos from these 2 Makkahs. So what is the 3 Yisoidos that you have in these 2 Makkahs? One Yisoid, he says, is Ashgocha. To know Hashem is pay attention, and he didn't leave the world like that. He paid attention, and everyone is called in his word is, he didn't say protis, but he says Ashgocha means Ashgocha protis. Hashem to pay attention on every part we do in our life. It's called Ashgocha protis. Ashgocha, Hashem didn't leave the world like that. He paid attention every part. This is the one part. The second part is, and divides the second part, he says, that Hashem is Mechadesh, the world, the makes the Chidush all the time, the world. The world is not, this is the world, this is it. And he makes the world again and again and again. The world again, is Mechadesh, every time the world again and again. So it's not the world, this is it. Hashem could change the world. changes those chidush in the world, is mechanish the world all the time. And the third chidush, the third part is Hashem could do everything. The three Yesodos. One thing, Hashgacha. Second thing is chidush. The third thing is called Yecholes. These are three things. So you make your Tavot, Asiyach, Hashgacha, Yecholes, and Chidush.
What Yecholes, what he could do.
He can do everything. He can do everything. He controls everything. He can do everything when he wants. And these are soidos. You're able to see these three soidos. You're able to see that and the makkah and these two makkahs, an aroiv and makkah of what? Borod. These two so you can see in these two makkah. Borod. And these so you can see in Borod. So Bezrat Hashem, B'siyata Dishmaya, with Hashem's help, and Hashem will go up in Misale, we want to work on these two makkahs. Bezrat Hashem, we work on it, and live it, and look the Chazal, and see the Psukim, see the Rashi, see Rabban, see the Yeshoyos, Besforno, see the Rishonim, see Achonim. Work, we're able to focus on these two. So I want everybody to work on these two makkahs. And these two makkahs, according to the Ramban, you're able to, you have in that everything in two makkahs. And Bezrat Hashem. So you work on these two makkahs. Remember, Aroiv, animals, and Borod. And today with the children, you have a lot of pictures. It helps you for your children today. Try to get the pictures together. And the makkahs, Borod also have pictures today. So you try to use the Koach Hatzir, the pictures for the children, and you make it big, small. Try to work on these two pictures, two Yesodos. Borod and makkahs. And these two things, we work on it with Bezrat Hashem. We have now work to do now till Pesach. You work on it. There's a lot of work. There's a lot of work on it. Don't think this is one finish in 1 minute. You read it in 2 minutes. No, you have to be excited so much. Every child of you is able to get you. It's like you live it. Like you went out Egypt. You saw yourself the Borod. You see yourself the Ma'av. You have to live it. You don't live it. You don't feel it. You don't motion it. You won't get it. They won't feel it. They know it's a fake. Like 1 year, I was saying, I go to Pesach, and I was saying, Avadim Meinu, Paramatzai. So my son asked me, Avodah, you never been a slave? Avadim Meinu, you never been a slave? For an hour and a half arguing with me. Hour and a half. Till able to show him, prove him that we were slaves. But it took an hour and a half, and let us say that an hour and a half is a lot of time. Not 20 minutes, and not an hour and a half. But the moment he got it, I got the chap, and that changed all my little seder. Because that already, I did the tachlis. I got the tachlis. I felt like I went out of Egypt. When I explained it so much, and I explained it so much, my wife explained, everybody tried to explain it so much, God himself got, everybody changed, the family, the Vadomeinu. Everybody felt the Vadomeinu. So we did the tachlis, and then we went out, go to quick and fast, and we did the tachlis. You understand? The point is, here we have to work on these two things, Bezrat Hashem. And makas aroiv, and makas bo. Bezrat Hashem, we learn it, we see the chazalim, the psukim, chazalim, Bezrat Hashem.